All right, welcome in everybody. I hope y'all survived the eclipse. This is a reading for my twin flame connections out there. If you're drawn here by the title, then there's definitely something in here for you. Usually I channel multiple messages. I'm channeling today around a central group of twin flames, as I always do. So you may or may not be in that group, but I do have my beautiful Amazonite heart, which is the integration of masculine, feminine, and I'm using that as sort of like my talisman today. Let's see where we go. So let's connect in with the collective soulmate right away. Let's connect in with the collective. All right, those two just jumped out. I'm going to continue to shuffle here. There's three there. Let's see what we got. I will also do some energetic messaging for divine feminine, divine masculine specifically. And in the extended, I will pull cards for each zodiac sign to give you some clear guidance for yourself. I just saw New Life. What's going on here? My goodness, lots of jumping cards. Meditation. Today in Pathfinders, we talked about the clairs, right? The different gifts, and there's many more gifts than this, but it's sort of the foundation of all gifts, spiritual gifts. And I talked about clairaudience, clairsentience, clairvoyance. Meditation will help you clear in order to connect in with those gifts. A lot of you, most of you on my channel, have already plugged in with at least one of those gifts and might be working on developing others. They're all available to you. So you might be naturally clairaudient like I am. I've been clairaudient my whole life, never really understood that some people don't aren't able to do that, but they are. That's my point, is that you're able to do all of these gifts. You're able to plug into all of these things. It's just been generations and hundreds of years of, social no, being cut off from family, or being cut off, and in certain generations, if you're cut off from family, you would die, because we do connect to each other in ways of survival, and those are sort of in other lifetimes, that's been the truth. And so now it's really about plugging in to the universal family, about plugging into this universal heart, and being able to see that as, I don't know, more expanded kind of sustenance. Whereas a lot of us, especially during this eclipse season, have unplugged from certain family or family in general, or unhealthy relationships that you might have felt you needed to stay plugged into just because of how long you've known that person. Like, well, we've been friends for 20 years. I can't just, that seems like a heck of an investment. I really feel like some of you are now you are courageous enough to unplug from that type of matrixy experience. No disrespect meant to any of those family members or any of those people. It's just that lesson is being disconnected from. So those relationships can kind of disappear. Okay. And got water here. Healer. Oh, things are flowing. That is so beautiful. Wow. Time, learning about time, understanding how time works. And I feel, okay, I'm feeling really strongly to say to somebody that if you're sticking around in a relationship just because of time served, that's not really a good reason. It's not really a good reason, especially if it's hurtful to you, or if it is not growing in any way, or if you've learned the lesson, if you have plugged into that and you've transmuted that energy for yourself into wisdom, meaning some of you needed to step into your power and say what you needed to say. And then once you do, like poof, yeah, some relationships can go away that quickly, even ones that have lasted years and decades and everything like that. So wow, okay, look at this. What a different energy. This is almost like, okay, I'm just going to say this to you. This feels like what the divine masculine is going through, and this feels like what the divine feminine is doing. Okay, there's a huge difference in energy here. Water, healer, time. And then there's this masculine energy of earth, transformation, and power. This is Pluto. Um, okay, very interesting. This is wounded masculine energy on the planet. This is not necessarily divine masculine energy or those who are identifying as divine masculines who are plugging into their journey. You could have, if you are a divine masculine, could have already gone through this and healed or healing your wounded masculine energy. And by the way, we all have both masculine and feminine inside of us. So some of you could have really healed your divine masculine, meaning that Aries energy, Aries eclipse is like taking bold action, very masculine, right? The other eclipse that we had a couple of weeks ago, March 25th or so, was a lunar eclipse, feminine energy, Libra, right? Libra is about balance, and Libra is also about relationships. It was also a full moon. So that was about releasing. And it's possible that I'm talking to some of you who have leaned into the releasing of relationships that you never thought you could or would, simply because of the awareness of, okay, it's the end of a cycle. Okay, it's the clearing of this energy in my life. Okay, right? Like understanding the spiritual cycles of things. So I remember very strongly in 2017, we had another eclipse. They called it the American eclipse, right? Because just like this week, the eclipse went across the continent of North America. And 2017 activated this channel. I started this channel in October of 2017. I believe that happened in July, right? That eclipse. So I don't remember. I'll have to look it up if it was a full moon or a new moon. I feel like it was a new moon because I believe it was a solar eclipse. Lunar eclipses happen in full moons, okay? And new moons are connected to solar eclipses. So I'll have to go back and look and see what the sign of it was. But this definitely, I'm also seeing Scorpio here. Okay. I'm seeing Scorpio energy, which is about transformation. I am also seeing Saturn and Capricorn energy here with this earth energy. The masculine is the physical twin. The feminine is the spiritual twin. And like it's this meditate card is like kind of sitting in between it for me. And that just says that I'm speaking to a group of twin flames who are primarily in the 5D and may not be connecting all that well or even at all in the 3D right now. Okay, so you could be in separation, or there could have been some connection and then it's kind of fizzled out, or it's kind of dissipated and not really. It's sort of like there's different lessons being learned here that still need learning in order for this to come into union. Okay, so that's one message here. So let's see what the reading for the collective says. What's the reading for the collective? Very strong. I'm feeling this very strong, intuitive connection flowing back and forth. And I just get this image of this masculine, like putting up their hands, but like fingers, like that's not super impervious, right? Like putting up their hands like, no, I can't deal with any more of this. No, this is too much. This is too loud. But that's kind of the point, masculine. That's kind of the point. It's really time to come to terms with transmuting the energetic experience of this and not sort of bowing to the idea or the interpretation of the universe as wholly physical, the earth as wholly physical. There's an energy, there's a pulse to it. Absolutely. First thing out of the gate, High Priestess. And then look, the Emperor. You see how this is like the ethereal and the physical. This is the divine feminine energy. This is Cancerian energy. This is Aries energy. And we do have the water for the divine feminine. So there's something very Cancerian about this, very nurturing, right? If you look at what Cancer means, could even be a little bit of Pisces because the flowiness of this. And then we have Scorpio as well. The Aries energy, the fire energy, the masculine taking action, King of Pentacles, Page of Cups and the Hanged Man. Oh, and here's Justice. There's Libra. I'm going to take this, the Magician, and I can't help myself. This is the Aquarius energy. So we have Libra, Gemini, and Aquarius showing up. This is the project. This is the future. The Star card is healing. The Magician is manifesting. The Libra is balancing. So that's where we're going. All right. I'm just intuitively taking that as that's where we're going. Currently, there is some kind of earth block to the masculine. They're needing to surrender to their spiritual path. They're needing to reorient their connection to money and power. Okay, we're definitely seeing that on a global level. Okay, and on a societal level, that power is being redistributed. And what was once thought of as powerful skill sets will now become, sort of corrosive, and what was dismissed as not powerful is going to be elevated, right? Like a super empath or a super creative or a dream, like the water, right? The person who's a manifester, the person who's a balancer, the person who's empathetic, the person, all of that, that's the healing nature of this twin flame. Wow. Super duper strong, like fire hose messages coming through here. It's almost like, okay, so think about this. I'll just give you an image or an experience to kind of ponder. In the world, in my lifetime, money, that has been where the power is. And resources during my lifetime have certainly will make things easier in your life, right? To navigate a society or a culture or a timeline that is bowing down to the power of money, then money becomes powerful. But what happens if we decide that money has no value? It's just a bunch of paper and metal. What if we decide that? Which I feel like is what's happening. Okay, because this is Saturn energy. This is the hard work of things to heal this kind of paradigm. And what if we decide that it's just a bunch of paper? Then amassing that, what's the point? Doesn't get you anything. There's no transactional. And so that's the masculine can kind of understand that, see that. That's part of their experience, is that with great amounts of wealth comes great amounts of power. But if that has drained away the feminine side, if it has drained away empathy, compassion, creativity, all of these things, then creativity gets blocked. Okay, so in my Pathfinders group, I was talking about the clairs today, the clairaudience, clairsentience, like I was talking about, and there is sort of an arc of intuition that, like, the basest thing is fear and survival, right? You can like align these up with the chakras even, and then once you work through that and you see your own sort of prism distortion, your own looking through archetypes. My friend, I hoped one day to be friends with Robert Ohata, although I'm not currently, I don't know him, but I just love his content. And when he talks about that, he talks about the archetypal experience of being in the world and how you're choosing the same timeline over and over again because you're not learning the lessons, you're not opening up to anything more elevated, like love or even neutrality, even forgiveness, even like energies like that, which is how you manifest. So if you're always in this low vibe place of survival, which I feel like that's what's happening with the earth right now, and because we're using the earth and destroying the earth, we're destroying the resources of the very ground that we stand on, it's all about survival. Okay, it's all about that lower vibe kind of energy. And you can't manifest on a higher vibe, on a higher timeline, if you're always in the dirt. You cannot manifest love from a place of hate. You cannot manifest expansiveness from a place of crouch, right? Of fear. You can't. And so when we talk about timelines, that's what we're really talking about. We're really talking about, all right, where do you want to go? Do you want to see the world as a loving place and as a compassionate place? Then you need to get there energetically and manifest that from that timeline. You cannot do it from this low vibe. And so does money have its place? Are resources helpful? Absolutely. But if you are somebody who is in that place of compassion and in that place of hey, we're all connected, and so we have a social contract with each other to help each other and all of that. If you're there, then it's no longer this, well, I got mine and I'm pulling up the ladder after me. It's not that. That's not we're all connected, and if you do well, I do well too. That's not that mindset. This is an old mindset that's going away. And right now the masculine is transmuting this. It's almost like I just get this image. It's not even a dog. It's like a big, like almost like a buffalo or a bison or something like that, like wildly shaking off, this vibe, like really, sort of uncloaking themselves, a big beast, having this rage attack about like, I'm carrying this heavy burden and I want to shake it off. So spiritually, the masculine is in that place of like, I just want to shake this off, but they don't know how because this has been such an ingrained thing. So the reason anybody who's having a hard time getting away from survival and up into sort of that more empathic place, or even the shadow of the empath, which is like, I swallow all of your pain whole and I'm unable to then be around people, like everything's too overwhelming. That's not helpful either. You're going to need to learn how to, be in the space for healing. It's sort of like a doctor. Like a doctor has to learn to be objective, and that's a thinking, but it's, but medicine is very intuitive as well. Medicine is very intuitive. Those who are really tapped into their intuition and they understand the chemistry and the physics, not physics, but maybe chemistry and the holisticness of the body, as opposed to silos like, hey, I'm a heart doctor, so it doesn't exist with anything else connecting to it. Really? Really? I believe I'd like a word on that, because if you just understand you're a whole system of all of these things and they all touch each other, we're moving away from this siloed way of doing things. We're moving away from that, and we're moving into a way of the empath being able to transmute that energy without swallowing it whole, right? That's what the work of the empath is to not allow the overwhelm, right? It's to flow, let it flow through, let it roll off your back, experiencing it and being able to love, being able to shine light, being able to hold space, all of those things, and create the circumstances for people to heal themselves. And that's what a doctor does, right? Just sets, you break your arm, doctor comes in, looks for infection, looks for all kinds of other stuff, gives the arm the physical instruction through setting it or whatever it has to do, but the arm heals itself. It just needs that little lift. That's what doctors do. I don't know if they would say that, but that's how I see it. And in the energetic realm, that's exactly what it is. So I feel like right now the masculine is recognizing that they have sublimated their intuitive nature, and it's going to become a danger to them, especially in the world of AI, especially in the world of, so much information that you don't know what's real and what's not. Those who are stuck in that survival mode see the information through their lens, their archetype of victim, and they are unable to sort of get out of that bubble. They see the world through fear, through silos of fear, because they're in that lowest survival vibration. And it's sort of like, in the wild, that's a handicap. That is a handicap. It is becoming a handicap. So that's what the divine masculine is here to help the, the wounded masculine or the masculine energy polarity on this planet to be able to shake off that mindset, that empathy, compassion, we're all connected, all of these Aquarian themes, age of Aquarius, to be able to shake that, to be able to, I don't know, they're shaking up, but to be able to help others in the bubble sort of unplug from that matrix, right? Unplug from it. It's going to be one of those things where their divine feminine needs to grow. Their compassion needs to grow. Okay. So that's a lot coming from just these things. All right. So so actually the reading for the collective, Queen of Pentacles, Two of Pentacles. Let's see if there's a different message here. Ace of Wands, Two of Cups, Nine of Swords, Knight of Swords. There's that rage. The Moon. There's the Moon. Moon is showing up a lot. Two of Swords and the Page of Pentacles. I feel like the masculine is needing, the divine masculine's role right now is to embrace compassion and learn how to be humble. Learn how to be humble, because I feel like they are being humbled. And so what happens is you one of two things will happen, is that you get that masculine feels backed into a corner and will attack, or there will be an incredibly like a situation of like breaking open their heart. And I think you're going to see both of those things. Okay. I think you're going to see both of those things, that the masculine is able to break open the heart because the feminine is sort of, being the lighthouse, not the storm, being able to shine the light and saying, over here, compassion, we're all connected in this universal place. I don't know if I can call it a place, but this universal energy. Thank you. The universal energy. And this is a crossroads moment. This is a crossroads moment where the feminine is exhibiting this love energy and maybe has been trying to keep a foot in both worlds. It's no longer possible. This eclipse really made it no longer possible to go back. So if you have been trying to keep a foot in both worlds, or like I talk about a lot, about a foot on the dock and a foot on the boat is now off the dock. Okay. The eclipse energy in Libra and then in Aries activated the engine of that boat, and that boat is like in the harbor now. It's not even sitting next to that dock anymore. So the feminine energy is on the boat, and this to continue that metaphor, this Ace of Wands, I feel like a lot of you getting your foot out of an old world. So some of you have let go of toxic relationships, ways that have kept your light from shining. I feel like the divine feminine has decided as a collective to move into more fully the age of Aquarius. The feminine has been activated to do that. The masculine is still back on the dock. Okay. The masculine is still back on the dock. The feminine now is going to shine the light brighter, right? Shine that light, see their future, be inspired for the future. And it's sort of like, there's nothing more I can do for you here, divine masculine, until the humble, being able to be humble. I feel like there's a set of divine masculines who are going to feel the need to reach out and apologize. This is an apology. Okay. It's welling up in them subconsciously. And some of them may be effing furious about that. What do I need to apologize for? Why do I need to apologize? Right? There's just this fury, rage. Okay. But what's happening is it's almost like a fire that's burning off anything that needs to go in their in their energetic realm, like things trying to come through their dream state. There's rage here, and rage, like that Aries energy. Okay, the Aries has doesn't own the emotion of rage, but pretty close. Okay, Aries is the one who is dynamic, and when the masculine, when the Aries is in high vibration, their masculine and feminine are balanced, so they are benevolent leaders. But when that feminine has been relegated to not standing next to me, that masculine gets to be a crusty old bastard. And so right now it's a choice. But like my mother said, I think I said this in the readings earlier this week or last week. My mom, when she was passing away, said, they come for you and you can say no, but then one time you can't. And so at a certain point here, the masculines are going to be sort of separated into this masculines who've chosen fear and survival and rage, even though it's a fool's paradise or a fool's errand to think that the things that were power in the past would still be power. They're no longer power. They're no longer power. Okay. So, wow, all of a sudden my debit card doesn't work. And these pieces of paper and these metal things, like, I'll give you $1 million to go onto a desert island. What good are those physical dollars on a desert island? Not good. Can't eat them. Can't plant them. They're not keeping you warm at night. If they can't be used to transact something, they're worthless. So the transactional way of being in life is going to be gone too. Wow, that's a new message. No more transactional kind of relationships. No more divine feminine keeping their foot in the toxicity just to be able to hold someone's hand to bring them to safety or bring them to this new place. No more of that. We are at a crossroads, and this eclipse energy showed us that you might have felt a lot of heavy energy, and you might have been pushed to do something in your Aries power that might have been also activated in that full moon in Libra. A relationship could have shown itself to be toxic or to be, I'm getting like something like powerless. If you felt powerless in that relationship now is powerless over you. And so that's what we're learning here with this Page of Pentacles. We're learning something new. This is definitely a crossroads. And the boat has left the dock. So these masculines can jump off that dock and swim to the boat. They can do that. Some of them are going to be like, nope. Fine. Okay. So if you're connecting with your divine masculine in the spiritual realm, you might want to impart this message to them. They already know. What am I saying? They already know. They already know. And a lot of them are on the path, a lot of divine masculines. However, it can also be, let's take it one step further. Within yourself, have you fought with yourself between what's going to keep me safe and what's going to elevate me? That thing that you thought was going to keep you safe is no longer going to keep you safe. Because that energy is dissipating. It's becoming not a thing. It's becoming worth less. Okay? And I mean that like it's not something you can exchange anymore for safety or security. So it's going to dissipate. That energy will dissipate. And some of you have told me, I've seen the comments about how much you have been sort of stepping into this new power. You might have felt rage come through. You might have felt some ancient kind of ancestral karma even come through you. You know, my mother and my mother before her always were very fill in the blank. And this is something I'm healing. My father, healing the father wound, healing the mother wound, whatever it has been. we're getting to a new place now. And okay, so I will pull cards for the feminine and the masculine. I will pull cards for each zodiac sign in the extended. If this is your reading, baby, wow. All right. Link is in the description box to continue on with me. I'll go deeper into these messages. And like I said, I'll do all that other stuff. Okay. Link is below if you want to continue on with me. Wow. See you over there. All right. I hope you enjoyed that video. If it was helpful to you, please consider liking this video and sharing it with anybody who might have a need for similar kind of information. And if you like this video, check out these videos.